to another episode of the Cattle USA Daily Podcast. It's weather day. We have Gary coming on again today with the Weather 2020 team, and we're going to talk all things the winter weather storm systems that we're seeing across the Midwest early this week, everything else that we can kind of anticipate to be seeing this week. Gary did an amazing analysis of drought patterns and what we're going to kind of be seeing across these Midwestern states coming up this coming spring and summer, everything like that. We talk our freeze dates again, confirming that last freeze dates are still kind of predicted to be mid-April, everything like that, and all the things. So Gary and I recorded this on Friday, so I hope that you guys are having a great start to your Monday, and let's go ahead and get into this conversation with Gary. Alrighty.
I love snow. Oh my God.
Gary, what are we seeing in the weather this week? It is snowing its butt off there in Colorado for you guys right now. Can barely keep you in right now because it's going crazy outside. What are we seeing? What's going on?
It is crazy, Lauren. First of all, before we get to this storm, and I know this is going to be playing early in the week, but we're going to talk about the storm that just came through because there's another storm coming in as well. We're in March weather madness. But before we get to that, last week I went to visit my Aunt Bobby and Uncle Leon in Portland, Oregon, and we had a great visit. It was for her 80th birthday, but she was making rye bread, I think it was, or sourdough. What did you make?
I make sourdough.
It was sourdough. She was making sourdough bread, and she says it is a talent to it, and that it takes a while, but it's worth it. And
so worth it.
Oh my God, it was so good. I hear you have a talent for that. I know last week we talked about it, but how has your sourdough been going?
It has been going great, actually. Surprisingly so. So I've been a baker my whole life. And so this whole sourdough journey, I've been seeing stuff on it. All of my friends do it, things like that. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to become part of the cult. We're going to keep buying our sourdough from a local baker and we're going to call it good. Right. And then my husband had sourdough from one of our friends one time and he looked at me and he was like, Lauren, this is 10 times better than the place that you get it from. I need you to start making this. And so luckily, when I made it the first time, I was fully anticipating a flop because sourdough's finicky, y'all. It is so finicky. And I was fully anticipating that I was going to butcher it. And it was a success, surprisingly. And knock on wood, it's been a success since. I really haven't had a bad loaf, thankfully. They're all different. Every single one of them, you can cook them the exact same way, prep them the exact same way, times, everything, but every single one of them tastes just a little different. But it's kind of fun. It's fun. It takes like 2 days. I know some people have recipes that they can do it in a day, but my recipe, it takes 2 days from like the time I feed my starter to the time I pull my loaves out of the oven, but it's worth it. It's so good. That's so good. And it's gut healthy.
I'm driving to Manhattan. I'm heading to your way. I'm coming to see you. I want sourdough bread.
Yes, absolutely. If that's what gets you to Manhattan, then I'll take it. Then
I'll toast it slightly, and then I will put a little ghee butter and some honey on top.
Yes, you are speaking my language right there. Absolutely. I have a really good friend who makes the best jams and jellies. Wow. Oh my God, she does the strawberry rhubarb, peach, all the things. And I have some from her batch last year and put some of that strawberry rhubarb jelly on there this morning. Oh, so good. I tell you what.
Sounds good.
My heart's just happy.
Perfect start to the day. I already had a little toast. I had 2 organic pieces of bacon, crisp. And I'm having some coffee, and I'm talking to you. So it's a great start to the day, but my gosh.
It's a great Friday.
This weather, we had right here in Golden, Colorado, I'm looking out my window, it's snowing like crazy right now. There's 50-mile-per-hour winds. We were recording this on Friday when that storm was coming in, and this storm is like a Category 2. It's as strong. It's not like a Category 2 hurricane, but the low pressure area is as strong, and some of the winds around it will be up to near hurricane force. And that's what's happening right now as it moves across the plains, severe thunderstorm risks, and it's right on schedule. If you don't know what the LRC is, the weather pattern is cycling regularly. That's my theory, my hypothesis. I've been working on it for 40 years. And now at weather2020.com, we are sharing it with all the farmers out there and the world as we prepare businesses, your farm, any kind of weather sensitive situation, and to help you prepare for these storm systems, for drought, for flood. We're going to talk a little bit about drought like we said we would last week. Will there be one or not? And then, but we also hope to save lives because through advance warning. This storm that's coming our way tonight, tomorrow, in the early to mid this week, and the one that we just had that we're talking about that we're experiencing, and it's snowing like crazy outside here right now, predicted. This is part of the pattern that is cycling. And we have this product that's on our site, and it's a severe weather PDF that we have on there. And in the second prediction of the season, we predicted around mid-March that we would have this severe weather outbreak. And I plotted where it would be, just like the Storm Prediction Center would plot where the risks are, whether it's a level 1, 2, 3, 4, or a high risk 5, which is very rare. This is a level 4 risk for eastern sections of Missouri, but we predicted it. I literally drew in the area that was going to happen, and now it's happening. And so how is that possible? Because the weather pattern is cycling. So it allows us to predict these severe weather outbreaks with a 90% precision, and hurricanes a little bit less, winter storms about that 90% level, and it looks like there might be a little snow and possibly a little blizzard from northern Kansas or southern Nebraska into Minnesota. So we're watching that early this week. But just know everything's on schedule, Lauren. And then we wanted to talk about drought. Remember last week we were talking about that?
Let's talk drought. What are we seeing? What are your thoughts?
There's pockets of dry weather. Our model shows that southwestern Kansas and western Kansas, which is drying out, we're going to get that winter wheat in. And, the potential for it getting wet farther west increases substantially as soon as we get to May 1st. Between now and May 1st, the precipitation pattern should start shifting farther west into the plains, and there are going to be pockets of dry weather even in the wettest years. You take a whole state of Kansas, for example, and in the wettest years, there's still pockets of drought almost all the time. So like 3 counties are completely wet, like most of the state is, but then this one county, it keeps getting missed. So there's still pockets, but I think that's all we're going to see across Kansas and Nebraska are pockets of drought or drought stress. And most areas are going to have adequate precipitation. Some areas too much precipitation as we approach summer. So I still expect that. Farther north across northern Nebraska into southern sections of South Dakota into North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, we're also going to have pockets of drought. But overall, I don't see a very large area of drought. That's how it looks right now. We'll look at it from week to week. Remember, the LRC model goes out through September, and that's what it's showing. So I'm going with what the LRC model shows.
We love that. We would love a little bit of a wet summer this coming year, even though, excuse me, I'm from Northeast Kansas. So we remember those years where we've gotten maybe a little bit too much moisture as well. And that, play your cards either way, and drought nor too much moisture is a very good thing for any of us. But like Gary said, we'll continue to watch it and do all the things. Any other highs, lows, anything else that we're kind of seeing or need to talk about?
Yeah, just this March weather madness, what's happening with these powerhouse storms that are developing. It's amazing how you can have the storm and all you get is the wind from it. You don't get the rain and the snow from it. But they're going to continue. They'll weaken a little bit as we get towards the end of May and into June, but they're being created by the temperature contrast. When you have a real strong temperature contrast, and it's cold in Canada still, it's near 0 degrees up there, and it's now getting close to 90 and 100 down across the deserts and near Mexico in the next couple months, that strong temperature contrast maintains the energy of these storm systems. What happens as soon as you get to around June 15th, June 20th, the contrast weekend. So it's now 60 degrees in Canada and 100 degrees in the Southwest. So instead of 100 degrees of contrast, you have 40 degrees of contrast. And then by summer, it's about the same, 70 degrees in Canada, 110 in the Southwest. And that means the jet stream weakens, shifts north, and as a result, the storm systems weaken. So that's how summer begins. Summer settles in when the jet stream starts lifting to the north. But this summer, we're going to still have cold fronts. With cold fronts, every couple weeks, you're going to have a chance of thunderstorms, and then you have to see when they're timed. If that front is coming through late in the afternoon and the evening, you have a better chance of some thunderstorms and heavy rain. If it comes through early in the morning, maybe not. So we'll have to see about the timing of those. But we don't see any major heat waves. But this summer, that's something we're going to go over in a few weeks. I haven't done a complete analysis of the summer. I just know the chance of a major heat wave lasting weeks is unlikely. Will there be a 5 to 7 day stretch 2 or 3 times where it gets up well into the 90s to near 100 or higher? Probably a couple times. So we'll try to time those out for you.
Amazing. As far as last freeze dates go, are we still on track to see our last freeze dates be like either this month or early next month? Or what are you kind of thinking there? Still on track for all of those?
Mid-April.
Mid-April. Okay.
The cold part of the pattern, the part of the pattern that produced the blizzard in January, the blizzard in February, 6-week cycle, 41 days or so, that is due between March 20th and April the 4th, that 15-day stretch. And so we do see some chances for snow in there, some more freezes. And then there's one more around mid-April that is probably going to produce a freeze, the last freeze, and then that should be it. Mid-May, there's another little surge of colder air that'll come down. Think about that. It's 6 weeks after the end of March. But by then, it might drop to 37, 36 degrees, but maybe a touch of a light frost. And that's more likely in the Dakotas than in Kansas.
Amazing. Perfect. We'd love to see it. Well, Gary, anything else before we close out today? I want to get you out to your snowy weather here in Colorado so that you can go watch the amazingness that is going down there. But anything else before we close out?
I don't know. I grew up in Southern California where snow to me was like, oh my gosh, look at it on top of that mountain. It snowed. That was snow to me. Okay, just so you wonder why I'm going a little cray-cray right now is because the little kid in me just loves snow. And hey, it's not out of me yet. As soon as it's out of me, I'm moving to Florida. But I'm in Colorado, and I want to be near the snow if at all possible. And just 11 minutes drive from where I'm at is up at this restaurant called the Chart House up there in Genesee. I don't know if any of you have ever been there, but I often go, it's about 8,000 feet up, whereas I'm about 6,000 feet up. So sometimes it's raining down here, and I just take a little 11-minute ride in rainbow and sunny, and I love it.
I love that. That's amazing. That's so much fun. Well, Gary, I hope you have the best Friday. Enjoy your snowstorm in Colorado. I'm going to be over here today enjoying the last of what apparently is my last warm day for a little bit here in Kansas. And as always, to everyone listening, make sure you go check out the show notes, check out our Weather 2020 exclusive link that we have for all of you Cattle USA listeners, and then check out everything else that we have down there. Like, subscribe, rate, review. We appreciate every single one of you. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Gary and I are going to go enjoy our Friday. We'll see y'all later.